I'm flipping through the stations the other night, the TV stations, and I come across this movie, and it was interesting, I guess. And it was about mafiosos and all these, lineage of like all kinds of like the daddy and the sons and whatnot. And then the son takes over after the older papa gets shot, and he ends up in Italy where he meets someone with just a pair of tats. It was definitely, and it just went on like that. There's a lot of that. And I saw the man in that movie, the older guy. He was in another movie. He was all in France. And it was so much cat. So much spirit.
Hello there. Come join us by the movie line. I am Dr. Crisis, along with...
Mr. Dust.
And I am Melmut.
Yes. And today we'll be talking about... Well, it'll be Stallone Alone is going to be our episode today.
Very good.
We're going to be rating... Well, not exactly rating. What would you call this?
I guess it'd be just going over and summarizing.
No, battling.
Oh, we're battling.
We're battling. Yeah, we're actually going to battle Sylvester Stallone movies against each other.
Is it the movies themselves or the characters?
No, oh, damn it.
That opens up a whole other thing.
Okay, we'll do movies.
Okay.
We'll do the movies themselves.
The movies themselves are bad. Okay.
The merits of the particular films.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
Over the Top is the clear winner.
It's over the top, the winner, yeah.
Just the clear winner, yeah. So this is over. The
It
show
could,
is over.
Look, I'm not going to count that out. You have to make a good... Are you going to take Over the Top as your... Are you going to take that?
I have to now.
Okay.
The gauntlet has been thrown down.
All right, we'll do that one later. We won't go straight to Over the Top. Of course, we're going to exclude the first Rocky,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to... Well, all the Rockies, because we already did enough of those.
Yeah.
We're also going to exclude First Blood, because obviously those are his two best movies. So we're going to exclude those because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
No, we won't exclude them. We won't. What am I, a doofus? Yeah. So what we'll do instead is we'll at the very end I'll take one, you'll take the other, and we'll decide which one's better.
Okay. So we'll save that for the end.
Yeah. This is I don't know what kind of ship you guys are running. What is that? Few Good Men.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what did he say? I don't know what kind of court you guys are running. I'm just
I don't know what
wondering
kind of
why.
unit you're running here. Unit.
Unit.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, we'll get right to it. Sorry about the ramblings, people.
I'm not.
Okay, do you want to just do a general assessment of his career?
I think that makes for a good start. I think that the man really dug his own grave for the most part, because anytime, and we three know this, anytime he had any kind of failure or problem at the box office, he ran straight back to Rocky and Rambo. And he could make them forever. There's, 6 Rockies now and 5 Rambos?
Yeah.
But
And
why
that's a tragedy. Because you ever seen Paradise Alley?
I haven't. What is it?
It's the movie he made straight after Rocky, when he was like on top of the world, was nominated for Best Picture, and then it won Best Picture, the whole deal. And it's some movie that he wrote. I can't remember if he directed it or not, but it's about him and his brothers like on the mean streets of New York, just trying to get their con artist thing on or make money. It is generic, silly bullshit, in my opinion. It's not a good movie.
Is it kind of like his version of Lords of Flatbush?
Lords of Flatbush, or what Scorsese would do later with Mean Streets, or like Goodfellas, people rising up through, or it was more, but it didn't seem so heavy on like mob or anything like that. They didn't seem like criminals. They seemed like they were just like scammers, and we're trying to make our way out here. It was embarrassingly bad, in my opinion. And then right after that, he ran right to Rocky 2. I mean, it's like once that failed.
Mean Streets was after this?
No,
You're just a liar.
I'm not a liar. I said that he did bad things. It wasn't like Scorsese's Mean Streets and stuff.
No, you said after. You said Mean Streets. You specifically said it.
Well, I'm glad that you
Okay,
told me.
Look, you're on
I
trial
don't want to
now.
lie to everybody.
Okay. Frank, Okay, so but I find it curious that you would say that he dug his own grave, right?
Yes.
Because he's one of the most famous actors of all time.
Yes.
So in which way did you?
Artistically, I think he dug his own grave. Artistically, I think he dug his own grave.
Okay.
Because no one takes him seriously as an actor. It seems like the general consensus is he can't act. He's just a movie star. And what is he doing now? He's doing what, the 4th Expendables?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
man.
like I hear he's doing a show.
About
It's about a real mafia guy, and I'm interested to see that. To see what he's going to do with it. But mostly, what he does is Creed movies, Expendables movies. He's talking about how he didn't kill Rambo in the last one because Rambo might come back. He's like, that's all he does.
That's interesting, but I think me and you specifically would say that some of the movies that we thought were failures of his were actually very popular. So it's very hard to say that that he dug his own grave, because we would have said he dug it long before other people did. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like what?
Oh, well, we didn't like either of the sequels to First Blood. We were not big fans of First Blood Part 2. At least I wasn't.
No, it wasn't. I didn't
And
like
of
it
course,
that much.
Rambo 3 is considered,
Just one of the funniest damn movies
right,
of all
right.
time.
I was not a fan of Cobra,
No.
right, even though that was a very popular movie.
Yeah.
I think watching it, I'm sure it has some value to it, but it seems...
I don't know that it does. Especially on his end. He just didn't act in that movie.
Well, it was a strange... He seemed to be making a strange commentary on the mentally ill as well, which was a popular thing at the time, even in the Dirty Harry movies. It was like, it's the mentally ill people that are just ruining our society, and the answer is to shoot them down.
That definitely seemed to be the answer, yeah.
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 But that was a popular thing at the time.
Yeah, which he himself has said to the contrary in statements recently, Stallone, saying that it's not about violence in movies. We need to concentrate more on mentally ill people and why they want to do these things. And because everyone's like, if movies are violent, then everyone's going to go out and shoot everybody. It's like,
Oh, right, but I'm making a very important distinction between what is within art and with what is within the world, right?
Yeah.
He was expressing a certain idea within the art, which is fine. Doesn't mean anything you express within the art is something you believe.
True.
Or you're exploring. That's what that's
Yes.
about. So I'm not saying I think it's an interesting thing to explore that the way to solve mental illness is to shoot people, but you have every right to explore it in the realm of art, right?
Yeah.
So that's more what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So since we brought up Cobra, I'll take the side of Cobra. What do you want to put? What do you want to pit it against? Sorry about I'm having trouble. I died last week, but I'm back. And
Bless you, sir.
yeah.
So I think a minor cough is really it's minor.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna take Cobra. What do you got?
Okay.
What are you gonna pit against Cobra?
Against Cobra with good old Sly Stallone. I guess I'll take Rambo 3.
Rambo. That's a good one. All right. So you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, Cobra was a gritty, hyper masculine but proud hyper masculine movie. It was like an anti-hero, one of the first anti-heroes you could argue in action movies, where he was the no nonsense cop who played by his own rules, who actually punched some captain of some kind. They were always punching their captains. There's never repercussions for that. Did you notice?
No, yeah.
It's like there's no boards looking after these things. There's no. So, but by the way, he punched a guy who was giving him a compliment in the middle of giving him a compliment. This actually happened. This happened in Cobra at the end of Cobra. The guy was actually saying that maybe your methods are correct and we should be doing it this way the entire time. And his response to that was to punch him.
Which is really, what he was saying. It's like,
Is that what it was?
yeah, it's like, we should do it, then we will, and then he hit him. So
Oh,
it's like, yeah,
okay.
it was a punctuation on the. Yeah.
So, wow, can I defend that? I'm trying to. Okay, no, if I'm being real, I do think that there was merit in how gritty the movie was. The lack of all laws except for his own, right? That was the idea.
Yeah.
That the whole world was now, he was going to make his own as they always say, they just make his own rules, right? But that started it, right? Or not started it. I guess you would say, what, did Popeye Doyle do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Popeye
okay.
Doyle in French Connection, 1971.
Good job.
Was like like we're out here and Popeye, you need to stop, and it's like we're gonna get him. It's like
I'm
that
doing
whole
a
thing.
terrible job of defending this movie, let me tell you something.
You picked yourself up a heavy load, is what you did. You picked Cobra for Christ's sake.
Well, it did have style value. You know, I mean, we remember the people with the posters. We were related to someone who had a poster of it on his wall,
Yes.
and it was the laser gun and the match in his mouth, and it did capture something. When you say he captured it, more clearly that no nonsense, play by his own rules kind of person than maybe Gene Hackman did.
I would say it was more pronounced. It was kind of brought to its it was kind of like the concentrated version. It was no watering down.
You're agreeing with me. We're terrible at arguing with each other. You can't agree with me.
No,
man.
I think that's a bad thing. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying. It was brought to a like ridiculous, hyper concentrated form where it's like Popeye Doyle was a cop trying to get stuff done in French Connection, played by Gene Hackman, and he's just like, I gotta go shoot a guy, and it was just like it was just more of that. And I think the word pig was said more in that than in Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The main mentally ill man that needs to be shot was, I'm right here, pig. I'm gonna get me, pig. It's like it's just, I'll wait to be pig.
Yeah. Okay. So I've done a terrible job defending this movie.
As you should.
Because I do see that there is a depth to the darkness in that movie. There was a nihilism for how the world was. They were presenting a nihilistic landscape. And the only way, as he said, you're the disease, I'm the cure. He really did see this character of Cobra, of a person creating rules around his own personal morality as the way out of that. It was a very independent,
Yeah.
almost libertarian, I guess, way of viewing the world.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not arguing with me.
I
No,
don't
you're
agree
terrible.
with any of this.
Okay, then
I didn't know it was my time to speak. That's what was happening here.
All right. You want to defend? You want to tear down Cobra? You got two plays here. You can either tear down Cobra or you can play the Rambo 3 card.
I want to tear down Cobra.
Okay.
Because Stallone, as kind of a small in stature man, but juiced up, just juiced on up, was ridiculous for me to watch him like, I'm the cure. It's like, you look more ill than the man was. He has like his beard, and he looked like he doesn't shower, and that was supposed to be really just an attractive man in those days. I just thought he seemed silly and a loser, but he was allowed to have a gun, and it was like, so I'm the cure. Hey, pig. It's like, I just thought it was stupid. I understand what you're saying about the darkness. It was more depressing in an artistic fashion, just like, wow, I don't want to watch this. I agree with that. But the overwrought, bad guy with his giant mouth, screaming pig all the time, Stallone being much smaller than him, and it's like, it almost seemed like Stallone was like just small dick energy. And it's like, I'm going to shoot him because I got a bigger gun. And it's like, it came off ridiculous to me overall. The things that you were saying that there were good parts of it, I think it got overshadowed by Stallone's ego, I felt.
Okay. All right. He has actually admitted that at that time he was kind of lost in that. But at the same time, I think he was an expert at creating memorable characters with the laser gun and the chewing on the match and the car, the Thunderbird. Is that what it was? The Thunderbird
not
car
sure.
with the. So he was an expert at creating pop characters.
Yeah.
Where you remembered that character. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was memorable, but in a way where say,
Look,
I
I'm
just
interested
lost
to see how, in Christ's name, you're going to defend Rambo 3.
I'm gonna tell you now. I'm not gonna take the easy way out and say that it was.
You know where the defense is?
Where is it?
Close.
How close?
In your ass.
A just legendary line from Rambo 3, a legendary exchange. I'm not gonna take the easy way out and say that it was entertaining because it was so accidentally hilarious, because it is that. But on top of that, when you want to see, because you saw in the second Rambo that he was forced back into the world, taken out of prison because he went to prison at the end of the first one, and it's like he's back in the world and all that stuff. But then to see a Rambo that is actually trying to be peaceful, and you're looking at he's building houses in the beginning of this movie, and you're like, the concept is there, where it's like, okay, he's actually trying to put it behind him. Troutman comes to get him. It's not like he was in a prison at this. It's like, you still have to pay your debt to society. This one was like, Rambo, I need you to fight a war. I'm dragging you back into it. It kind of painted, what did I say, Teasel? Did I say Troutman?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I said Troutman, right?
Yes.
Troutman's is the freaking character I'm trying to say here. All right, Troutman.
Troutman, yeah.
Yeah, the trout man. You know, he wanted him to come to the river and fly fish to his heart's content.
Old troutster.
That was the original script, yeah.
Yes, and they decided to rework it, and it became Cobra.
Yeah, it's a fascinating way.
Yeah, wow. It kind of painted him as a bad guy, Troutman.
And
It's
you,
like,
and you like that.
I like that idea because then Rambo ended up having to save Troutman, and he's like, Troutman can't let go. We made him a sad old man. He was as lost and as sad as Rambo was in the first one. And again, whether they were doing this on purpose, it was captivating idea. The movie itself, there's not a lot of defense, but I'm going to say you at least got to see Rambo forced into this and saying, okay, he's back on his war kick, and it's Troutman's fault. And then at the end, when we're getting old, sir, it's dumb. But the idea of them sitting there together and saying we're not meant for this world. This isn't our world anymore. We fought for it. We lost. It was at least interesting in concept for me, more so than Cobra.
Right. But we're talking about a movie where he hung someone and blew them up at the exact same time. That actually happens in the movie.
Again, the concentration of, if we're going to go in here, then Rambo's on full-fledged, man. He's
psycho,
on,
right?
Yeah, I'm going full psycho. Yeah.
Psycho sin is where he's at on that one.
I'm doing a psycho sin. Whatever he's doing.
Every time he does something like that, he just screams psycho sin. Including a helicopter fighting a tank.
Yes. And I remember when watching it on DVD. What is a DVD? For the first time, we were switching around trying to find a scene. The first 3 skip scenes were helicopters. It was just, all right, skip scene. It was absolutely hilarious. 3 completely different scenes, but just started with helicopters doing something.
Okay, then they should have done the entire movie in a helicopter.
I would have been fine with
like
that.
Die Hard in a helicopter. It's the tightest you can possibly get.
And they don't know he's there, like Die Hard, though, and they can't capture him. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's in the back seat, and then they turn around and he's like, "No, I'm not." He's like over there. You are in the back seat. I don't know what accent that is.
You are in the backseat.
I'm the French terrorist.
And he just screams psycho sin and like
Psycho's in, and then the helicopter
and then
explodes.
shoots one of them up into the blades.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Now we're talking.
Then when
Now
it
we're
blows up, he flies the blade away, and he's just holding on to a pole with the blade, the helicopter blade just flying around.
All right, now we're talking psycho sins. Yes.
All right, so who wins?
Melmoth, which one of us made the better defense?
I go with Cobra.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
I paid him in rubles.
You paid him in golden beans that we haven't been sending out. Is what you
Yeah, that's what we've been doing with him. All right. Okay, Melmoth,
Who are you?
would you like to take a movie?
No, I'm the ref.
You're always going to be the judge?
I'm the official.
Okay, buddy. All right, you choose 2 now.
I choose 2. I choose 1.
No, you choose 2 for us. I chose, didn't I?
No,
Oh,
no,
you're
you
right.
didn't. What the
Okay,
hell are you trying to pull?
hey, man. I look. What do you expect from a man that just came back from the dead? I mean,
All right, we're putting up with the cough.
Look, I didn't
so
see
I'm not putting up with anything
Jesus
else.
doing a podcast a week after his own death. Okay, so hey,
That's true.
cut me a little bit of slack.
All right, so who do you go with, Malmwood? Sylvester Stallone or Jesus?
I go with Gordon Shumway.
Oh, that's very
Okay,
interesting.
I'm at a loss of who that is. I actually
Really?
forget.
All right, if you can tell us who that is, we will give you a sack of golden beans.
Okay, I'll leave that.
And this generation, just stupidly, has become obsessed with this character again.
Oh, I know who it is.
You know who it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've lost. We've all lost when this has
Yeah,
happened.
this
Anyway,
knowledge is out
and
there.
we were there, so shut up. No, it wasn't good. It was never good.
never good.
All right, go ahead. You pick a movie then.
Okay, so only Sylvester Stallone movies here. I have to pick one that I want to defend.
Hey,
Sorry.
Come on, man. You can't.
I understand. I
I'm
know
a
what you're
dead
saying,
ass,
but all right, I'm gonna pick.
ass.
I'm gonna pick Oscar.
Oscar. Okay, then I'll pick Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
My God,
Look, you chose a comedy, right?
I
mean,
did. I did.
Wait, what the hell is that?
You'll
You don't know-
find that you don't know that one.
No.
There was an actual movie in 1991, 92,
Somewhere
early
around there.
90s, where he. I'll start it. Okay, so I'm going to say that
Started last time.
Okay, then you can start.
This is unjust.
Fuck you. Oh, good.
Okay, Oscar was a comedy movie where Stallone played the trying to reform himself head of a mob family. Okay, his name was Antonio Provolone. Okay, and it was
Or as the incomparable Tim Curry called it, Mr. Provolone.
yes, my
Yeah.
God. I would have to say that the cast stands this movie up because again, Tim Curry in it and all the guest stars that this is a terrible start to this. I don't know why I picked Oscar. I don't like Oscar.
Wait, what?
I don't like that movie anymore.
Hey, shut up. You got to defend it.
I got to defend it. Okay.
All right.
Tim Curry saves an otherwise poopy movie. How's that as a defense?
Oh my
Do you want to switch? Come on, man.
No, we're not going to switch.
All
Okay.
right. All right. So I got one. Cobra wins over Rambo 3.
Yes.
And we did a terrible job on both of those. So come on, focus.
Okay.
All right.
So Oscar, it starts with him trying to promise his dying father. His father on his deathbed says, "I want you to clean up your life and not be a mob boss anymore."
I'm going to wind up defending Oscar. How can you not? I mean, Kurt Douglas.
I was just gonna say that.
All right.
I was just going to say.
Hey,
Kurt Douglas played his father. The legendary Kurt Douglas played his dying father, and he was hysterical. Brilliant performance in the very beginning of the movie, and then he died. And the whole rest of the movie, again, great concept, is his son, Stallone, trying to live up to that promise in the most chaotic and ridiculous day that could possibly happen. And it was a classic, I forget what the Damien Runyon, a lot of people compared it to, that style of comedy.
Oh, I don't. Are you talking about a farce? is what
Yes,
you're talking about. But that's
pretty
as
much.
old as Shakespeare. I mean, that's probably older than Shakespeare, but a farce is very old.
Yes, that whole idea of that, where tons of misunderstandings, character confusion, characters coming in, characters going out, losing characters, trying to find them again. And they did a good job of keeping the pace. I thought most people in the movie were very funny, and right to the end, you're wondering how it's going to play out, especially with in the name of the movie is Oscar, and that's one character you see for 2 seconds at the end of the movie. So I did like the concept.
Yeah, and it was kind of, they tried to present it as if all their troubles were because of him leaving,
Yes.
to a certain extent.
Right.
Right.
Yes. And it was a period piece, so it was set back in the 30s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the costumes and the design of the cars and the houses, it was very beautiful. So I think it was something that does stand up as a very different choice for Stallone. And I think if he had done more like changes to like what his norm was in areas like this, I think he could have made more of a artistic go at it. So I think this was a testament to different things he could have done. So I think that's why Oscar does kind of stand up in his repertoire or his catalog.
Okay. And his boudoir as well.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't
Right
know
next to Italian Stallion.
Oh, wow. This is where his career started.
Right.
We can talk about that.
Okay, so I'm going to have to defend Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot was a movie where he was a cop, and his mother in the movie was played by Estelle Getty.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the movie. I mean, that is the entire movie. That the premise is the film, which is fascinating and rare, where they just went, hey, here's an idea. Get the old lady from Golden Girls and have her play Stallone's mom, and there's the movie. I don't know how in God's name I'm going to defend it besides that. If, they did that. That happened. They decided, they went, fuck it. We're going to actually put money, time, thousands of people to work on this. So there's got to be a respect on some level just for that they were so bold. Or people were so damn, just God's boyed over at that studio that they had absolutely no concept that this would be a horrible film.
Well, there's a claim, and I don't know the specifics of the claim. I don't know if I should even bring it up because I don't know the specific. But Arnold Schwarzenegger claims he tricked Stallone into doing that movie.
Oh, you have to tell me about this.
Again, I'm not sure, but he says because of the rivalry they had, action stars and everything, there was some kind. Again, I don't remember how it goes, but he said it on talk shows that there was some kind of like he thought he was he made it believe that he was interested in the movie or something like that, so Stallone would do it. And he would make a horrible movie. Now, I don't know if this is a joke by Stallone, but he's held to this fact, and laughing and on shows that he tricked Stallone into making that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, again, I wish I had more fact than that, but that's what he claims.
Wow, how about that? Yeah. So, but that happened, and it was a lot of one-liners and a lot of my mom's here and doing things, and she's got a gun and I got a gun, and you know.
And the line "Stop" or "My mom will shoot" was in the movie.
Yeah. But so I guess you could say that it almost feels like an equivalent of Kindergarten Cop. So is that why he did it? Did he do Kindergarten Cop first and then felt he couldn't be alone in this? Or I don't remember which one came out first. So,
Which was an infinitely more enjoyable movie than "Stop or My Mom Will Shoot."
This is true. This is true. All right, Melmut.
I gotta go with Oscar on this one.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah, that's I understand. All right. All right, next. Shoo, wow. Judge Dredd.
Okay. I will pick Copland.
Judge Dredd versus Copland.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, I'll start first. Judge Dredd was a blast. From beginning to end, its goal was entertainment. I thought that the action sequences at the time were actually, really exhilarating and beautiful, and I thought the pace of the movie was actually really good. I thought that they balanced drama with action. I mean, just enough drama, and Armand Assante just eating every bit of scenery he could find.
Absolutely.
But still I felt an enjoyable fashion.
Yes.
So, I understand it's got a bad rap, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was enjoyable. It's a movie you can you can sit down, put on, and just enjoy yourself and go through this world that they're creating and follow, and it has some damn good actors in it as well,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I know that there was a big controversy at the time because him and the director did not get along. You remember this?
Yes.
It got to the point where the director actually was asked about doing a sequel before the movie came out, because after its receipts came in, there was no way a sequel was going to be okayed. But he was actually asked would he be willing to do a sequel, and he said he'd rather stick hot needles in his eyes, believe was the quote,
Oh my God.
than work with Stallone again. And some of the stories that were on the set was that Stallone became obsessed with having the character look exactly like the comics. That was one of the things. He wanted him to have green boots. This was something that became very important to him, green boots. And he said the director just didn't understand his obsession with this.
More power to you, Stallone.
Yeah.
Comic book accuracy.
But
What do you got?
oddly enough, he didn't seem to give a flying shit that in one of the first scenes he was in, he took his helmet off.
That was sacrilegious.
He's
to
never
Dredd.
seen in the comic. His face is not seen, only the bottom where he's wearing his helmet. They've had scenes where he's in a bathtub in the comics, just panels. He's still wearing the helmet.
Yeah.
All right, so burn him at the stake now.
But do we know Stallone didn't fight for that as well? We don't
The
know.
way the scene went, Stallone wanted his big old head on screen. There's no way Stallone was going to wear a helmet an entire film. Ego.
Oh, man. All right. Rump was right about you, by the way.
Rump?
Yeah, Rump was right. Rump said that you have a problem with Stallone. He said it
This
straight
is not
up.
true.
He
Not
wrote
true.
it.
Not
you can
true.
look. He wrote it. It's
Yeah.
documented. He said you have a problem with Stallone
This is not true. I just defended
because
two of his movies.
you were forced to.
We were forced to be.
Okay, so that's my pitch. I mean, it's a pitch for a lot of movies that he did, and a lot of movies from the 90s that were spectacular spectacles. I did a bad thing with English words.
Is that what that was? English words.
I maybe. I'll let you all decide. All right, so that's my defense of the movie.
Okay.
And Rob Schneider was actually funny in it.
Okay, I was going to say my rebuttal was just Rob Schneider was all I was going to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I actually thought he was funny in it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, people can be wrong. Okay, good.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'm just going to go right into Copland this
All right.
time.
All right.
I thought it was a great way for him to be telling a story he tried
Oh, wait,
to tell.
wait. That's melodrama. That was, oh, that's right. That's the word.
Oh, okay.
Right. Melodrama. That was it. Copland was dreadfully melodramatic.
And that's the thing that happened. Now, the concept of it, outside of Ray Liotta and Harvey Keitel, which neither of them should be in things mostly. I'm glad one of them's gone now.
Oh, my God. That's horrifying.
Ray Liotta died on his own terms. Okay. In bed, probably next to just a huge Italian salami. Just going, ha, 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 ha. You know, I'm sorry. It's not about him. Anyway. But I love of Peter. It was a great concept, and not a new concept, but what Stallone was doing just so bombastic in the 80s with the cop that it stands all on him and he needs to do something, with a little twist that he was a man that wasn't hyper masculine, super shape, and was the one that everyone went to. You need to fix things, you rebel, you know. A sheriff who was deaf in one ear and not very bright in a small town full of corrupt cops had to be the one that stood up to them all. And a man that he couldn't be a cop because of he tried to help someone when he was a teenager and lost his hearing doing so. That he actually cared. He actually wanted things to be better and did the very best he could to make it happen.
Yeah, and none of that came to fruition. They did nothing. These were all great ideas. And they went, wouldn't it be great if we made a movie about these things? We won't. We won't make a movie about this. But what we'll do is we'll talk about how this would have been a great movie if we actually focused on any given idea.
And I can understand that, but I'm going to say that Sylvester Stallone pulled off every single moment he was on screen to that idea. He was like, okay, this is what we're watching. Then other scenes are like, wait, no, what? And then when Sly, we are watching this movie. He managed to carry you through something that wasn't completed to its full, potential. And I still thought it was sort of like a, paint by numbers for De Niro, but I still thought it was enjoyable to watch for him.
Right, and then there was the worst incident of the bad guy doing something that made no sense so that your protagonist could live, where he shot Sly.
Yes.
Right. Then he lifted the gun to his ass. Now imagine a handgun being lifted to your own ass. Right? Imagine what that would look like. You bend it back so far that you're in danger of shooting your own ass before he aimed it again. And then someone shot him.
Yeah.
Right. That's
And I thought,
dreadful.
I thought that character coming back at all was bad.
That's Judge Dreadful is what it is.
That's what that movie should have been called, Judge Dreadful.
Yeah.
Because of weird hillbillies in the mountains in a horrifyingly depressing scene that shouldn't be in any action movie or movie anywhere.
No, they made the Outer Lands or whatever the hell they were called.
Yeah,
they made them very dangerous and creepy.
I guess so. It was just Rob Schneider, and then the contrast was unwatchable, in my opinion. Simply unwatchable.
Like your face.
Is that what it was?
Is that what it was?
We're going to go personal.
Hey,
I'm glad you died a week ago. We're going to go right in there. But the
I hope
idea.
you die.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, you're going to get golden beans if you guess.
All right.
The idea of the very last thing that the bad guy of the movie said you couldn't hear. And when Stallone had his other ear they deafened his other ear, his good ear in it.
That's right.
And the whole time he couldn't hear when he's, storming the house and trying to make things right. The plot of the movie is, irrelevant. Who cares? But he's laying on the floor after Stallone shot him, the main bad guy, Harvey Keitel, who's just the main bad guy in life. But he's looking up at him and he says something. He looks down and says, "I can't hear you, Ray." And that was it. It's like, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how you try and justify what you did. I needed to do this, you needed to lose. And it was really good. And again, as I said, Stallone carried the idea of that movie. And when you watch him, you're like, okay, this is what the movie could have been. He would 100% go in the movie it should have been.
All right. Well, to the judge, to the living tribunal himself.
Ah, you're doing me too much honor, sir.
Malmut, what do we got?
I gotta go with Copland.
Ah, damn it.
That's 2 for me.
Ah, damn it.
2 for me.
I don't agree with you, but I stand by your decision until I can get my hands on a gun. Okay. All right. What do we got?
Okay.
Right
This is like a double act, so it's kind of cheaty. But I'm
Don't
gonna say
cheat.
I'm gonna say Tango and Cash.
How's that a double act?
Well, it was really a Stallone movie and
You
Kurt
cheat-
Russell
yeah, you
movie.
are cheating. You're bringing in the big guns now.
I cheated all the way home.
Okay.
All the way to the bank.
Okay, I'm not going to do cliffhanger, even though I want to, because I've already spoken about cliffhanger.
True.
You go, and I'll think of one.
Okay. Tango and Cash took all the things we were talking about with the 80s, and they did do them again with the cops who play by their own rules, and they have to shoot it all out. But they made it so hilarious on purpose with how funny they were, especially Russell. I know it's about Sly, but I thought Russell was really funny in the movie. And they just made it a great buddy cop movie, which had become a thing already, buddy cop movies, because of Lethal Weapon mostly, pretty much exclusively Lethal Weapon, yeah. And they made it an absolute blast of the two of them. And to start off right off the bat with them getting disgraced and then thrown in jail together, it's like it was a roller coaster of stupid that was so watchable and so intense. They kept the meter running. You were just running and running the whole time. Yeah. And then you got the incomparable Jack Palance playing the main bad guy in the movie, and you got Tango and Cash fighting against Jack Palance. It's like you don't get better than that. The different settings and things blowing up, and I thought it was a beautiful movie as far as fun is concerned. And then at the end, they're driving the giant tank car that their friend made across a field trying to beat out the main bad guy and his two henchmen. It was like a video game by the end. It's like watching Duke Nukem the movie or something. So again, for fun reasons, for funny, for stupid, crazy action, you're like, well, we can keep watching it. I think Tango and Cash is a don't miss it. It's fucking great. Yeah.
Would you say that films like that are quality ham with a side of corn?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Ham and cheese with a side of corn?
Yes.
Especially when they know they're doing it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, that can go way too far when you're too... I don't like films that are too self-aware. I really am... that annoys the fuck out of me when they're too self-aware.
I can definitely agree with that.
But it gets real. God, sorry, I apologize. It gets worse though when they're self-congratulatory on top of it.
Right.
Right. That's when it really gets like, who the fuck are you? When they're just like, aren't I smart? Aren't I? Just I be funny smart, like I, yeah. that whole thing. But yeah, continue.
No, that's
This be funny smart. That's a real thing. When you can see it in a film. I think that's actually the name of Thisbe Funny Smarters. I think it's the name of the writer that writes all those movies. I think that's
the self-aware, self-congratulatory.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that right.
He just thinks he's the smartest guy on the planet.
Yes.
And you're going to think so too. Mr. Thisbe Funny Smart. We're going to have him on the show. What do you think?
I don't want him. I don't want him at all.
All right, buddy.
Crazy video game movie. You love playing the weird video games. You love watching the stupid movie. And I stand by that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, then I'll go with Demolition Man.
Okay.
Demolition Man. Okay. I mean, that movie, I still think visually is fantastic. I love the idea of freezing someone's head, then kicking it off again. Psycho Sin, right? I like that whole... the idea that the future was actually not a post-apocalyptic wasteland, but the opposite, but still terrible. That was amazing. It was a new take on it because, of course, the Mad Max, genre, that's what it became. Let's all go to a post-apocalyptic, which, of course, post-apocalyptic doesn't make sense. There is nothing after apocalypse, but the idea that he would wake up instead in a future that was way too nice, to the point where it became, which look, we're having some of that trouble today, right? The sanitation, people want to sanitize the world, but we're not going to go too far into that. But people want to sanitize to the world to a point where humanity no longer exists in it, right? And that, I thought that was a fascinating concept for an action movie. That you couldn't be anything but constantly nice all the time, It was like living in a McDonald's and watching Disney, that's pretty much what they want. So,
what was it like, Rod?
We'll do that another time. So the inventiveness of that, of starting the movie that way, and I think it's one of Wesley Snipes' finer performances because he's just great to watch throughout the whole thing.
And who was that supposed to be originally?
That was originally supposed to be Jackie Chan.
Good Lord.
He was offered the role, and he said he didn't want to play a bad guy, and that's integrity because, of course, he had tried to make it in the late '80s with a movie with Danny Aiello here in America.
Yes.
That was just don't and do. That's all I've got to say about that. It really depends on where you're at on that one. So for him to be offered a movie when, again, he was not the international superstar that he would become or recognized as he was to a lot of other people, but not to Americans. For him to turn that down because he felt he didn't want to ruin that image. He had a very specific image he believed in for his characters to be. So I thought that was wonderful.
Bless him.
Yeah, that was amazing. Or you could say, I guess you could argue it's also slightly narcissistic, but I'm going to go the other way on that. I'm going to go more positive.
Yeah, I read his biography, and he talked about that, about always wanting to portray, the good guy, and just that silly kind of, guy is a good, simple guy is caught in all this mess,
Yeah.
So I agree. I look at it the same way.
Yeah.
I'm going to go along with that.
Yeah. And I thought it was also one of the better comedic performances by Stallone. I thought his reaction to the things around him were intense, which made the situation that much more funny, much funnier. Where when he was trying, one of my favorite scenes, he simply asked for the salt, and someone was trying to explain to him they didn't have it anymore, and he looks at them with this deadly angry look. As soon as they start to interrupt him, he doesn't even know what they're telling him yet. He just knows that this entire world he's living in doesn't make a lot of any sense. And of course, there's what was in the movie with Andy Dufresne. What the hell's the name of the movie? Damn it!
Oh, Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, my brain is scattered to the fucks today. To the four fucking winds.
Four corners of the earth.
We should start. Go ahead. That's the beginning of the trailer.
To the four corners of the earth, one man's addled mind had been banished to the land of further addled minds.
I was going to say Skittle Beans. I don't know what that means. But, only an addled mind can
That's the name of the movie, Skittle Beans.
Skittle Beans.
Catch it nowhere.
But in your mind.
But in your addled mind.
Yes. Okay, we've done it. Look for Skittle Beans. It'll be coming out soon.
But only in someone's addled mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all going to meet at the Addled Mind later. That's a nightclub I go to. The Addled.
Nightclub / laundromat. The Addled Mind.
Right next to Figs at Figsies.
Yeah.
And they just pass out, medication. They're just medication everywhere.
Yes.
Anyway, what the
I just
fuck
don't
are
like.
we talking
We're
about?
talking about Demolition Man.
Oh, okay.
The idea that the way to fix the too nice future is just the bird dog chicks and bang beaver was the thing that got me on the thing at the end. He's like, yeah, I think we need to shoot more people and have way too many kids. And it's like, yeah, that's not really how that goes, man. You know, it just got really like, I like the chaotic past because they showed the chaotic past in the beginning where everything's burning. Literally, just the whole city was burning.
No, see,
you know?
okay, they balanced that though. There was a scene where he beat everyone up, and she was praising him for it. And he said, violence is not a good thing. Well, sometimes it is, right? Then he says, but not when it's a bunch of people looking for something to eat. So they balanced that. They directly commented on it, on the fact that he was not a person that liked violence.
No, that is good. But
I love that line. He said, this isn't the Wild West. The Wild West wasn't the Wild West.
yes.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
But, you know, then the idea with, you know, like overpopulation and disease was a horrible thing. And he's like, no, we just got to have more sex, more kids. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sounding much more like, you know, Jerry Seinfeld than kids. Troutman.
Sly Seinfeld. Sly Seinfeld.
Your disease, I'm the cure. Yeah, it's like,
Okay, can we replace Seinfeld? Can we replace all of Sly like with Seinfeld? Every single one of his movies. How would he look as Rocky?
oh, my
Of course,
God.
Rambo would be the absolute best.
Yes, with the thing tied around his head and shooting a
Yeah,
gun.
Yeah, I want to see.
I'm
this.
your worst nightmare. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
bad.
Okay, I was saying something about the warden. He was hilarious.
Oh, the man that played the warden.
Yeah, I don't know
in,
the actor's name.
I actually forget his name. I've heard
Okay.
it several times and I forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, same man played the captain in
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man,
Yeah.
and he took it stone cold serious, which I absolutely love in an actor that can take something, and he understood that where the humor was. If he had been trying to be funny, it wouldn't have been
Right.
For him to go, you're under arrest, John Spartan. That very fact negates your possibility of leaving. Like he just trying to lay this
Yeah.
down to him. You
He
know,
couldn't understand Spartan.
yeah. That guy's fantastic.
Nah, he's really good.
All right, so what do we got, Melwood?
I got to go with Demolition Man.
I don't
As
even
much as I
Two
love,
to two.
as much as I love Tango and Cash, I just think Demolition Man is a superior film.
All right, buddy.
Oh yes.
Yes, here we go. This is the last one, and I've maneuvered you into a fucking fall, asshole.
I maneuvered you.
No, you got to do over the fucking top. That's what you said.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're gonna do.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. And what are you
All
countering?
right.
What are you countering
What
with?
am I countering
Yeah.
with?
You got to say now.
I-
You got to answer now.
I can't.
He has a right to be heard now. We rented that 3 times that movie. What movie we keep referencing? You don't know, do you?
Okay, then we'll send you golden seeds.
Ooh, so you can grow
Ooh.
golden beans? Is that what you're saying?
That's what it
We
is.
need golden seeds because the secret's out. We ain't got a damn golden bean amongst us.
I don't know what that man is talking about.
Yeah, he's a liar. He's a propagandist.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
I think over the top. I think that was very over the top.
Okay, let's.
Oh, no. You have to pick one.
I can't right now. I can't right
This
now.
is silliness.
All right, I will.
All right, fine.
All right, what do we
All
got?
right. Over the top. It's a story about a man who left his.
No. You gotta say it like him,
Like who?
like Sylvester Stallone.
No, I do not.
Yes, you
This
damn
is
well
not
do.
a part of the
Okay,
criteria.
He's gonna. I believe that's in the buy rules, right? I mean, he's gonna side with me.
You at least have to say the name of the film. As
We just established that I'm coming off much more like Jerry Seinfeld when I'm trying to do the lines.
Exactly. I want to hear Jerry Seinfeld saying over the top.
Over the top. And see, that doesn't even sound like him anymore. That sounded more like Don Knotts.
I, for one,
Just get.
So that's
I, for
basically
one,
it.
There we go.
Now we're just making weird sounds.
want to hear.
No, I think that was actually in. That sound was actually in Italian Stallion, I believe, right?
Yeah, what was it? Party at Stud and Kitties. I
Is that really
think
what it
that
was
was the
called?
name of the movie where he did a soft porn to get his career started. I think it was called Party at Stud and Kitties, and he played Stud.
How about that? How the hell you're like some kind of porn aficionado? What the
I'm
hell?
a savant when it comes to Stallone's winker.
And his wank.
And his wanker.
Go on.
I don't even remember what the hell. This has been over the top.
Yeah.
This whole program.
Gotta go
Okay.
over the
Oh,
top.
you got to go over the top because
Well,
of
wait,
stuff.
can we discuss the boldness of actually calling it over the top?
Yeah, you got to give him points for that. You're going to name a movie that is just so ridiculous.
Explain what the movie's about.
Movie is about what I was trying to do in the first place.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what anyone's talking about. Ah, for the love of Peter. Who's Peter? The movie's about a father who has an estranged son, okay? And he's trying to reconnect with him. He's a truck driver, the father, and the son is in a military academy, his education, everything being taken over by his grandfather, okay? And his mother is ill and in the hospital, okay? And he wants to reconnect. She wants them to reconnect, although he walked out on her many years previous, and he doesn't know his son very well. It's about their journey in his big rig, his truck, driving to a arm wrestling competition, okay? He's a professional arm wrestler. That's a thing. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
And
do you think he actually just looked through? He was just like, okay, what's another competition movie I can do?
yeah, I've done boxing. I need to find something that's just on the cusp. And then he found arm wrestling.
I need to find something over the top.
Yeah.
The movie's actually called Over the Top.
Yeah, think about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, dude.
All right, I'm doing it.
All right.
Okay, it is actually, there are touching moments between him and his son trying to reconnect. And the idea.
That is bullshit. Which ones?
Be quiet.
One's where it happened.
The scene where he finds out that while they're on the road to go see his mom, she died. And him trying to run away from the situation, his son, and for his character to stop him from running away when that's what he did to him was actually touching. To say that I'm here for you now. The idea of, can you have a second chance? You know, and he was saying that I'm the one that's here for you. I'm the one that's holding you right now, getting you through this, you know?
Okay, but didn't he actually drive his big rig through the front house, the front of Robert Loggia's house? Didn't that
yes, he did.
actually happen?
Yes, he did. Because he
And-
needed to get his son back. Because Robert Loggia, who played the grandfather, overprotective grandfather, overbearing grandfather, took him back and said, "You're not going to get him, I have him," and tried to buy him away.
You're listening to what you're saying.
I am. I'm listening way too much to what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's starting to fail a little bit.
All right, you know what the defense is here? You know what the defense is here? I've been yelling. I'm sorry. I've been yelling. The defense is that the movie's called Over the Top, and they lived up to it.
Ooh.
Okay? You wrote down on the paper, Over the Top. How the hell did we live up to this? Sylvester Stallone in an arm wrestling competition, driving big rigs through windows, punching Robert Loggia. That probably happened. And I'm going to get my son, my wife dies, and I'm going to win at the end with my arm wrestling skills. Oh! Like that. It's like, what's over the top? This is.
No, but you didn't mention the major part on why it was called Over the Top.
It was called Over the Top because his special arm wrestling move, and I tried this out on kids at school after I saw this movie, and it worked.
Is that right?
This is right. Okay?
So you have the secret now. You can
I have
you
the
can beat
secret.
anyone in the world.
I can beat anyone in the world in arm wrestling. I'm Sly.
Okay.
I'm challenging you, brother. Come on to the show, Over the Top. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. What he would do was, if he's arm wrestling you and stuff, and he feels like there's not enough leverage or whatever, he would take his two first fingers, the pointer and the tall man. If you listen to the song,
The fuck are you talking
where is
about?
tall?
Okay.
Here I am. How are you today, sir? That childhood song.
I don't know what you're talking
Be
about.
quiet.
All right, good.
Okay. The pointer and the middle finger. He puts them over his thumb on the other side because they're on the one side of his thumb, and he puts it over, and that's over the top. And then he wins. Jesus Christ. The movie's called Over the Top, and it was.
Okay.
It achieved perfectly what it set out to be.
I rest my case.
I rest my goddamn case.
All right. Well, that's a good case, actually.
Yeah.
I think you did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's yours?
First Blood.
No, you can't do that. You said we were going to
Okay,
do Rocky
so-
versus First Blood. That's what you said we would
No,
do at
I
the
said
very
Rambo.
end. You said
I
at the
know,
very end.
I almost got away
Don't
with it.
do that.
I almost got away
Can't
with it.
do that. Can't join.
Yeah,
join.
but if I had said Rambo, this would have worked.
What, the second one?
No, in the beginning of this, if I had said
Yes.
we're not doing Rocky and Rambo, I could have gotten away with it.
You could have gotten away with that.
Yeah.
You pesky kids. Whatever the fuck they said. Why didn't they ever try and murder you? Why didn't that happen? I would have won one episode where the old person tried to murder Scooby Doo and Shaggy.
Yeah, the mystery
Really?
Just
team or
went
whatever.
at him. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm taking you with me.
Shotgun, machete,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I like the way it was. God damn it.
Oh, okay. I don't have one, dude. I'm actually going to say to you, I think you did it. You defended that so well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way.
Come on, you gotta put something out there.
No, I ain't got nothing, dude. I concede you are the winner
Yes.
of Stallone Alone, the first annual Stallone Alone.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank
Now
you.
get the fuck out of my house.
Me?
All right.
All right.
Okay, well, that's been Stallone Alone. First annual Stallone Alone. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Dust for winning it.
Thank you very much.
We will be doing Schwarzenegger sometime soon. We'll be doing the same with them. Until then, enjoy your next time. And
Wait, were we gonna do Rambo versus? What were we gonna? First
shit.
Blood versus Rocky.
We'll have to wait for that.
Yeah.
We don't
no,
fulfill
you
our
know
promises.
what? No. I want people out there to do that.
What do you mean?
I want people in the comments. In the comments on
Defend.
I want you to defend one over the other.
Okay.
And we'll do that at another point.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry we lied. We just straight up lied. But we'll pitch it to you guys. I think we can have a better discussion. Actually, we can look at some of the. No, you know what we'll do? We'll do a live episode about that, and we
Okay.
can have people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That's cool.
So hold out for that. We're gonna do a live episode, Rocky versus Rambo.
Cool.
Okay.
First and first.
First and first,
Yes.
Yep.
and the corner first and first, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. This has been the Movie Light. Now get the fuck out of here.
I saw this other movie. Then it was two pairs of cats. All these box.